Hey everybody, welcome to the 32 Insights podcast. I'm Mo here with your boy Tommy. Tommy, what's up, man? How was your Thanksgiving? What did you do?
Great Thanksgiving. Hung out in the Bay Area with
Nice.
some family. It was a good time. Enjoyed
That's
it.
amazing.
Watched some football. Ate a lot of
Ooh,
food. Can't complain. Can't
nice,
complain. It was great.
nice.
It was great. So
Oh man, get some time off. Just chill, kick back,
totally.
relax. Yeah, definitely my one of my favorite times of the year. But hey, let's get into some football, Tommy. So really great games, man. Where do we start, man? Where do we start? Some really good games, man. Let's just start with the Packers and the Lions. And man, the Packers really looked like themselves again, right? And they played. That the last time they played like that, in my opinion, was the first time they beat the Lions. So hey,
Yeah.
what do you think about that game?
So I thought it was interesting, right? I liked the Lions going into that game. I thought they would get it done. I thought they had to have it. Big divisional matchup at home on Thanksgiving, everything going their way, and they just didn't get it done. And I actually, one thing I wanted to highlight was that my biggest question with the Lions was their secondary.
Yeah,
Well, a couple big plays, they needed their secondary to make a play. Didn't happen. It didn't
yeah,
happen. And that was my biggest concern. Now they've lost Terrion Arnold for the year. I've got a lot of questions about that secondary. Even Brian Branch did not play particularly well, and I'm quite high on him. And
yeah,
I think Kirby Joseph's also banged up now. What I saw, and I don't know about Detroit. They've got a huge one on Thursday too against
yeah.
Dallas, a surging Dallas team, might I add. And it just with the offense Dallas has and the receivers, I'm worried about Detroit. I'm real worried
Yeah.
about Detroit right now.
Yeah.
This game on Thursday is a huge one for them. I mean,
Ooh, I'm looking
this
forward to that, man.
it's gonna be a fun
I'm looking
game.
forward
It's
to
gonna be a really
yeah,
really fun game. But
Dallas and the Lions. It's been a while since we had like a really good Thursday night game.
yes. Yes, we're due. We are due. I mean, other than of course, last Thursday with Thanksgiving, but we're due for some good Thursday football.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a great game though. I think it's gonna be a great game. I'm just really worried about George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb against that secondary. If the
yeah,
Lions aren't able to generate a pass rush, I'm very, very concerned.
yeah,
Um and I quietly kind of like Dallas. They're playing really well right now. And
yeah,
it's hard to say what's going on. But we're talking about Detroit, Green Bay. Green Bay
yeah,
did a good job. That they executed when it mattered. I thought Jordan Love had a great game. I know we were kind
yeah,
of getting on him, a few weeks ago, but no, Jordan Love played well.
yeah.
Got the job done. Big road win for Green Bay. They've got another
Four
huge.
touchdowns, over 200 yards, monster game, man.
Yeah, and on the national stage too. I think a lot of people are buying back in, which is understandable. That's a good win for Green Bay, and another big game for Green Bay. Speaking of big games coming up for each team here, Green Bay's got a huge one against Chicago
The
coming up.
Bears, the Bears. Now, no, I'm looking at the Bears, and we'll talk about that game, on Black Friday. But like, yeah, I'm looking at the Bears differently now.
I am too. I had my doubts. I had my doubts because if you looked at their schedule, they didn't have any signature wins. They didn't,
Yeah,
and that's just the truth. But guess what? They just got a signature win. They just got a
yeah,
signature win Black Friday in Philly. Mm,
yeah.
mm,
That
mm.
was tough.
They had two
Yeah,
running backs go over 120 yards rushing. Like, are you
yeah.
kidding me?
That's crazy.
I mean, they have a very legitimate rushing attack now, and they're Ben
Yeah,
Johnson's finally starting to make it his Detroit image. We're starting to see it come to life.
yeah,
They're starting to use Luther Burden and a little bit more as well, which I like.
yeah,
I thought that was a great pick for them. I know a lot of people weren't high on him pre-draft, but I don't know why. That was just lazy. Luther Burden's an
yeah,
extremely talented player, and the Bears are finally starting to utilize him. And
yeah,
you know, their rushing attack though is just elite. Like it's finally
yeah,
coming together. So the Bears are there. This is a big one though. This is like being growing up a little bit in the Chicago area, right? Like I know one thing. It
yeah,
doesn't matter until you beat the Packers. It does
yeah,
not matter until you beat the Packers.
yeah,
The Bears, the Bears fans are excited, but nothing matters until they beat the Packers. Like
yeah,
they'll never. They're here. They'll never get to here until they beat the Packers. They
yeah,
they have to beat them, and then the train really gets going. So we'll see what happens this weekend. But
Yeah,
no, but overall, Packers look like they kind of got the ship righted. And again, I don't know though, because the Packers have picked up good wins before this
yeah.
year, and they
They're
fumbled again.
inconsistent. That's the only
They are.
thing with me, Tommy. Like you'll see Jordan Love have a monster game, and then he'll follow it up with like, what the hell, man? What's up? You're not the same guy anymore. And like that.
Totally.
I don't trust Jordan Love. He's got to show me over a couple of games, but like great game from him, man. I love
Totally.
how Micah Parsons played. Like I think 28 pressures, 3 sacks. He was all over the place. Like he looked like that guy that they gave up some draft capital for on that game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So shout out to the
Yep.
Packers. Real good win on the road on Thanksgiving, and Detroit's got some work to do.
Yep, yep. All right, so going on to man, the next game on Thursday, man, the Dallas Cowboys, and I bet like the city of Dallas was booming. Like you're there, so I'm not there, but man, that was a great win. I did not believe, I did not believe like Dak would play that good. I know he's a really good quarterback, but like everybody says like, hey, he's not good under pressure and all that, but man, the guy was dealing, man. He carried that team.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, well, we said it, right? Dak Prescott is a good quarterback.
Yeah,
People don't forget that, everybody.
yeah.
But no, fantastic win for Dallas, right? I came in, sat down to watch that game thinking, okay, good divisional win against the Eagles. You're at home, you had to have it. It's the divisional game, like rivalry, sure, like that happens, right? So yeah, I sat down, I was like, okay, how long until the Chiefs start, running away with this a little bit?
Yeah,
Never happened. It never happened.
yeah,
Dallas was on it. And
yeah,
we knew what their offense was going to be able to do. Like, we know Dallas's offense is great, it's prolific, but it was the defense. It was the
yeah.
defense. I thought the defense really stepped up. It
They
wasn't
balled
perfect.
out.
It wasn't
Yeah,
perfect, but guess what? It is better than what it was. They are improving. The Dallas is improving, and they're
yeah.
a dangerous team right now. They are, and it's
They
crazy
can
to
run the
say.
table, right? They can run the
Yeah,
table.
Dallas is a very, very dangerous team right now. They still have quite a challenging schedule to
Yeah,
finish things up, but I mean, they've handled two of the challenging games that they had on their schedule. They
yeah,
walked out with a win there.
yeah,
Um, so, man, Dallas is rolling right now. I
yeah,
don't know what to make of it. Right? Something clicked. Getting Quinnen Williams was huge though. That
yeah.
interior pressure that they've begun to generate with Quinnen and Kenny Clark. I mean, goodness,
Yeah,
like
it's crazy. Yeah,
it's completely has changed their defense. And
yeah,
Logan Wilson has been, an upgrade, while maybe slight at the linebacker position for them. But what was going on the linebacker, and getting Demarion Overshown back was huge too. But what
yeah,
was going on with their linebacker position before those two were on the field? Oh my goodness, it was a disaster. I mean,
yeah,
truly a disaster. So
yeah,
Dallas is getting healthy, getting some guys
yeah.
back, made some great acquisitions. They might be onto something here, Mo. They might be onto something
Yeah.
here. But nevertheless, the NFC playoff race is going to be a
It's
dogfight.
tough. It's
It's going to
tough.
be a
It's a
dogfight.
dogfight. I think their best path to getting in and is Philly kind of crumbling, and we'll talk about them as well.
Yeah,
Like if they can win that division, I think that's not off the table right now.
yeah. But with Dallas, yeah, looking good. But let's flip it, right? Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City.
Oh man.
My goodness. I was scared for Dallas for a moment, after that last touchdown where,
Yeah.
and then I think, the Cowboys came back and, they had that long, deep, to CeeDee Lamb, deep throw to CeeDee Lamb. And they almost screwed it up. They got a field goal, but like they almost screwed it up. I was scared for Dallas a little bit. I was like, hey man, here we go. Mahomes going to do it again.
Yeah, no, I thought if Kansas City, was going to get a real shot at it, I was like, Dallas might be in trouble here. But man, something's going on in Kansas City, and
Yeah.
they're still dangerous. Kansas City will always be dangerous as long as 15 is
Hmm.
taking the snaps. But I'm worried about that offensive line, and
Yeah. And they're playing the
like,
Texans next.
yeah, problematic game there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
We
really
saw what
worried
they
about
did
him.
to Josh Allen, right? We saw what they did to Josh Allen.
Oh, I
So
think the Chiefs are in trouble. I think Houston's going to win. I think Houston's going to beat Kansas City. Their defense is
yeah.
so good. Kansas City is just sputtering on offense. And I mean, they're sputtering right now. It's just the Chiefs as a whole. They're really, really sputtering, and I don't know. I don't really know what is going on in Kansas City. And I know they lost quite a bit on the offensive line this offseason, and it's quite frankly it's been showing all year.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they didn't start particularly well this season, and honestly, it's just been rocky since. For every good win they get, it's a bad loss, and it's just they are just all over the place right now. And
Yeah.
like I said, like if they get in the playoffs, they're as dangerous as any other team, right? Like they're going to be dangerous. Nobody wants to see 15 in the playoffs,
Yeah.
but man, they got to get there. They got to get there
Yeah.
point blank. You know,
Yeah. It
like
doesn't look pretty. Doesn't look pretty,
no,
man. And like, look, so basically, if I pull up the Chiefs schedule real quick, and it's gonna be tough, man. Like, let's see, where is the Chiefs schedule? Here it is. So they got next couple of games. So they're playing Houston, tough game. Chargers. I don't know. Maybe like Justin Herbert, like he's been banged up. So that's Tennessee. The only for sure games that I'll give the Chiefs to is Tennessee and Vegas, right?
yeah,
But yeah, Houston, Chargers, and Denver, they could lose all those three.
the Chiefs are 6-6 right now, correct?
Yeah,
Sorry, I should know that, but yeah. So we looked at 8 wins right there, right? You got Tennessee, you've got Vegas. Okay, yeah, 8 wins. Where are the rest of your wins going to come from? Because 8 wins is not
yeah.
going to get you into the playoffs this year, not in my
Nine
opinion.
wins won't. Maybe 9 wins won't.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be
Yeah,
tight.
10 maybe, right? 10 is a maybe.
I think
So
the NFC might take 11. I think the
yeah,
NFC might take 11. It's
might take
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like it's crazy the way it's going. And look, if they get into the playoffs though, like with the Chiefs, nothing to lose. Like, because once you get into the playoff, everybody's 0-0. Like everybody's playing with
Yeah,
that same pressure, right?
you can't. A bad game is your season. Like you
Yeah,
can't. There's no more time for slipping up or bad games. So if a
yeah,
team gets hot at the right time, and
yeah,
that's like it could change the whole landscape. So
yeah,
man. I'm really really excited to see these next few weeks play out because we're gonna get a lot of answers.
yeah,
And it's going to be really interesting to see some rises and some falls. And there's a lot to play out still. There's a lot to play out. I mean, the NFC 1 seed is wide open right now, wide
yeah,
open. The Panthers decided to open that door for everybody. You know,
yeah,
Seahawks division hopes were kind of in the mud. We need the Rams to drop one game that isn't
yeah,
Seattle, because even if Seattle went and beat LA at home in a couple
yeah,
weeks, the Rams
yeah,
was still, say the Rams had won up until that point, the Seahawks still would not have been in the division lead due to tiebreakers.
yeah,
Well, the Panthers went ahead and beat LA, and suddenly Seattle's win against the Rams at home away from being first in the NFC West again.
yeah,
So a lot of things opened up, and now you've got the Bears who are sitting at the 1 seed right now, but the Packers clearly are licking their chops there, saying, "Oh, wow, we can beat the Bears, and we can get
yeah,
the Seahawks obviously too have some new, see an opportunity there to maybe get the one. It's unbelievably wide open right now.
yeah, yeah. Crazy, crazy. Well, all right, yeah. Let's see, man. Let's see where they get to. But yeah, Kansas City, man, fans like you guys have enough Super Bowls though. So like for the past couple of
share,
years, like
share a little bit. Share a little bit.
yeah, share a little bit. You guys are like, it's okay to be out one year. So so let's see, man. Last game of the evening. I don't know how much of you caught the Bengals versus the Ravens. Really good game, man. Joe Burrow, coming back, doing his thing. But like, the Ravens are in that kind of situation, right? Like their only path to winning this is the division, and like, the Steelers. They might win it. The Steelers are still like, back and forth. Like you can't trust them, but like I'm not counting out the Ravens yet. What do you think?
AFC North is bad. The AFC
Yeah, it's
North is
bad.
bad. I mean, yeah, it's open, right? I mean, the Bengals could be there too, right? I know the Bengals are way way back, but I mean, it's the NFC, AFC North. Nobody's really running with it right now.
Yeah.
I think it's quite open. I think I don't know. Be all. I think the Ravens will probably go ahead and win the division. I do when it's all said
Okay.
and done. It's going to be an
Yeah.
ugly, ugly division win. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I think they might limp their way to winning the AFC North. I think whoever wins the AFC North is on upset watch first round of the playoffs. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but um, I'll take the Ravens. They just have the most talent. I trust Lamar. I know Lamar has not been
Mm.
playing particularly well, but let's
Yeah.
also add Lamar had a very nice touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely that Isaiah Likely decided to fumble away at the goal line. Right,
Yeah.
like it looks really different if that's just what a swing that play was. Looking
Mm.
back on that game, right? I'd be lying. I unfortunately was not able to catch a lot of that game. I was able to catch, some moments of it.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry's, I think can wake up a little bit. Um, I just don't think the Ravens have really settled back in, getting all their guys back, and I think Lamar will be okay in the long run. He has not played particularly well coming back though. And he's made a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes. Like I'm not here to say Lamar Jackson played a great game. There were too
Yeah.
many turnovers. There were.
Yeah.
Um, and the scoreboard reflected that. But I think when it comes down to it, I'm going to look at talent. I'm going to look at pedigree. I don't think the Steelers are very talented.
Yeah.
You could, Steelers fans are going to come from my head on that. They might agree. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I don't really see the Steelers as a very legitimate threat. I just
Yeah.
don't like. I don't think they're very good. I think
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is way past his heyday. I think this is a cool little signing for them. Buy a couple. Get a couple jersey sales, whatever. I just don't
Yeah.
see it. I'm sorry. I don't think the Steelers are very good. And
Yeah.
I think the Ravens have the highest ceiling. How about that? Let me change everything I just said. I think the Ravens have the highest ceiling. And because they have the highest
Okay.
ceiling, I'm going to say they're going to win the division. But
Okay.
nevertheless, it's a messy division race, and I don't think I would be shocked to see the Steelers win it. And I don't think the Bengals are dead either if they're able to wake up. But the Bengals defense is awful, so I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's a rough division. It's a rough division.
Yeah. And DK Metcalf, man, I don't think that's looking like a good signing right now. 605 yards for the entire season, 5 touchdowns.
Making
Um,
CD Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase money. By the way,
yeah,
just
that's
saying.
crazy. That's crazy. And George Pickens, now he's second in receiving yards, the guy they let go, right?
I think they paid the wrong guy. That's
I
just
think they
me.
paid the wrong guy, right? So that's crazy, man. And yeah, I think they're gonna regret it. I'm just happy that the Seahawks made the right decision,
But
right?
thank
The
you. Hey,
Seahawks.
but thank you Pittsburgh. Thank you Pittsburgh for defensive rookie of the year, Nicky Manwari.
Yeah,
That's it.
thank you. That
Thank
is
you
that's
guys. Thank you
that is a
guys.
great that is a great trade, man. Thank you so much. You
Yes,
guys, you
yes.
guys, you guys are amazing. Uh, all right, man. Going forward to Black Friday, man. That I think that's the game of the week, right? The Bears and the Eagles. That game, like it's just like and just then the locker room speech with Ben Johnson taking his shirt off. Good, better, best, whatever he made up. Like I didn't know that existed, and like man, the Bears were playing with some tough mentality, and I'm sure like I know you grew up in Chicago, and you have a lot of friends right there who didn't see good football in a while. But man, that's as good as it gets, man. That was a tough football game.
I'm actually really happy for Bears fans. I am because they have not had an enjoyable football experience in my 25 years of life. They just haven't.
Mm,
They're
yeah,
one good year, double doink.
yeah,
I know they beat the Seahawks in the divisional with Jay Cutler a couple of years back, or not even a
yeah,
couple of years back. We're talking like 2011. But
yeah,
like, I mean, it's been very limited. BJ Raji ended that season. Like
mm,
I the Bears have just not had a lot of fun and success. So I'm really happy for their fan base. I mean, are they
mm,
getting out of control? Yeah, certainly. Certainly they are. But guess what? Like when you haven't seen winning football your entire life and you're 9-3 right now after beating the defending Super Bowl champs on the road on Black Friday on a standalone game,
yeah,
you can get a little excited. Why not? Right? Like why not?
mm,
I mean, they're the one seed right now. I
yeah,
mean, whether they will finish there or people will think they're the best team in the NFC, that's open. But
mm,
they are the one seed as we currently speak. So yeah,
yeah,
very, very impressive stuff. Ben Johnson has done a great job. I was always really high on Caleb Williams. I mean,
yeah,
it's easy to hate on. I get it, but like he's a very talented quarterback. And if you
yeah,
like, And I think people just look past that because they wanted to hate on him, like painting his nails or,
Yeah,
showing emotion on the football field. Oh no, like,
yeah.
and it's just like
He's a tough sucker, man.
he
The guy's a
is.
tough sucker.
Like Caleb Williams is great. He always
Mm,
has been great. I mean, just because USC couldn't field a defense doesn't mean he's not a winner. Like,
yeah,
it's just the guy would put up 46 points a game and they'd finish 8-4, 9-3 at USC. Like, okay, like the guy he's
yeah,
putting up 46. Like, whose fault is that really? And so Caleb's great, and it was just a matter of time for him to become great. And I think the Bears did a really good job allocating resources to the offensive line this offseason. They took that very serious and made that a priority.
mhm,
Um, I think defensively, their depth is what's ultimately going to doom them this year. But that'll be their target this offseason is to build that defense
yeah,
up, right?
yeah,
And I think they've got some flexibility where if they want to go make a splash move on defense, they certainly can do that this offseason. So
mhm,
I think the Bears are about a year away, right?
yeah,
But this is showing what they can become and what they
yeah,
probably will become, right? They're going to
yeah,
be a good team. They are going to be a good team. And I highlighted them before the season saying, watch out for the Bears. They could be sneaky this year. And like, they're
yeah,
good. I still think they're a year away. That defense, I don't trust that defense when it matters, like late in the
yeah,
postseason. But shout out
yeah.
to the Bears, man. Shout out to the Bears.
They're a good team, and I think they could pull off. Remember that year where the Packers were kind of hot like that, and they went to
Yeah.
Dallas and they beat the Dallas Cowboys,
Yeah.
and they went to the 49ers. I think they could pull off like one win or get like be a wild card team. I really believe in the Bears right now, man. That offensive line is legit. Like that a year ago, that was the worst offensive line in the league, right? More like it was even more horrible than the Seahawks were, right?
Yeah.
And Ben Johnson turned that around. And at the same time, Detroit, man, you see the offensive problems they're having. Like Ben Johnson, like we see Ben Johnson's value, right? The guy he's a really smart dude, man, and he warrants that cash and that job. And Caleb, I just want him to be more of an on schedule quarterback. Do your great things, just. But I think year three, maybe that's when we say, oh, MVP type Caleb, right? I think that's gonna
You know,
happen.
do it when just yeah, exactly. Stay on schedule. Keep making the right plays, right? The Bears are a run first team. That's who they are. And to be a run first team, you need to make sure you are staying on schedule, staying ahead of the chains. You don't want to get behind. You get behind the chains, take a bad sack, suddenly you can't run the ball anymore. You're put into these heavy pass situations, which is where the Bears do not want to be. With Ben Johnson's offensive scheme, you want to stay on schedule. You want to stay on track. You're not going to ask your quarterback. You don't want your quarterback doing too much. And
Yeah,
that is exactly what Ben Johnson wants. So the Bears just need to make sure that they're consistently staying on schedule. They need to stay
yeah,
on schedule, run the ball, own the time of possession, wear the defense out because that's their formula right now. That is their
yeah,
formula right now. I don't think their defense is in a place where they're going to be able to just shut teams down and let their offense do the thing. Like they're going to have to score points to win games. So they need to make sure
yeah,
they're staying on schedule and not, sticking to their script.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. Man, on the flip side, Eagles. This looks like the 2023 Eagles back again, man. It's a team that was good in the beginning, and I think they're gonna fall off. Like I think there's just too much going on in that, like in that locker room, man. Now, before like the defense was carrying them, and right now we saw what happened to the defense on Friday. The Bears just absolutely crushed them. So the Eagles, man, look, I think this is a year where they kind of let everybody go. Great teams when you have a lot of superstars, like what happened to the Bills. Like how they let Stephon Diggs go so they can kind of retool everything.
Definitely.
How the Seahawks, like they let DK Metcalf go, they let Geno go to retool the club. I think they need to let a lot of people, like a lot of stars, go like that. Like maybe AJ Brown, some other stars to kind of like build this team around Jalen Hurts or do something else because I think they're entering a different era right now, right? And I don't think like all this can hold up. I think like they're probably gonna be a disappointing season. They're going to make it to a wild card. They're going to lose a wild card game, and that's what's going to happen next offseason. That's I don't trust the Eagles right now to hold things up. How about you?
I agree. I don't trust the Eagles. I don't trust Jalen Hurts. I don't trust the Eagles offense. I don't trust the Eagles defense. They're good. They're talented. They are, but we keep saying it. Nothing. Something's not clicking there. And
Yeah,
and I'm going to keep highlighting it. I do not trust Jalen Hurts. I
yeah,
don't. I don't. He's like it's stronger than ever. He's not a top 5 quarterback. He's just not. He can't win you a game. He's not
yeah,
going to go out there and single handedly win you a game. And
yeah,
I'm out. I'm out. Like, I don't think the Eagles have it this year. And
yeah,
I think they could definitely still win the division, and they probably will still win the division. And they'll be NFC East champs again. Um, but they'll host a home playoff game. They might win that playoff game, but I don't think they'll make it past the divisional round this year. I just don't see
mhm,
it. I
yeah,
really, really do not see it. Um, I think our divisional round in the NFC this year is going to look a whole lot like some combination of. It's going to be these 4 teams, right? I think it's the Packers, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Eagles. I think that is going to be your divisional round matchups. I think the Eagles are out. I think that's where the Eagles go home. So I think your NFC Championship game is going to look a lot like between the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Packers, depending on matchups, of course.
yeah,
But I think we're looking at those three. Those three are I've kind of honed in on who's going to make the NFC Championship game, in my opinion,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, I agree with you. And sometimes, like I just go on Twitter and I, go on TikTok and, I just, listen to fan conversations and I see like Eagles fans and Cowboys fans always arguing like Jalen Hurts is better than Dak. Man, no, he's not. You know,
No, it's not.
like Jalen Hurts is nowhere near Dak Prescott. And I'm not a Cowboys fan, but just watching the game of football, like you can see that Dak would absolutely cook in that,
If
offense,
Jalen
right?
Hurts wasn't getting tush pushed in the end zone 100 times a week, like I don't
Yeah.
know what who is he, right? Like because just
Yeah.
because he gets 1 yard rushing touchdowns because his entire team false starts and pushes him in half the time, like I don't like who is he? I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
I watched this guy come into clear passing situations. The Eagles' offense
Yeah.
looks inept. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Like I'm watching the games. I'm watching the
Yeah.
games. I do not see what there is to like be falling in love with or be fearful of there. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too, man. Me too. All right. Just going to the Sunday games. I want to, touch base. I want to do the Seahawks, but first, man, we got to talk about the Rams and the Panthers, man. Look, I did not expect that result. I was like, my goodness. And, one Mike Jack, you remember our guy,
Yeah,
Mike
oh
Jackson.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. When
Hey,
he
he's
took
still
that
helping
to the
us
house.
out. He's still
Yeah, he's still
helping us
helping us
out.
out, man. But hey, like I was like, my goodness. But that defense, man, that defense is for real, man. They have like 21, sacks on the year, over 14 INTs. They're pretty good, man. And like, my goodness, like I did not expect that. Stafford was bullied. That secondary was torched, right? That Rams secondary was torched. And yeah, what did you think about that first game, man? I was like, my goodness, as a Seahawks fan, I was like, let's fucking go,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just like as you said, as a Seahawks fan, how could you not be hyped? The Panthers gave us new life. Like we were really, really behind the 8 ball there, trying to win the division. Suddenly, it turns into Seattle, LA again for the division. And
Yeah,
the Niners, hey, the Niners are lurking. But
yeah,
as it currently stands, we're looking at Seattle, LA for the division right now. So, I mean, I'll be lying. I didn't get to watch a ton of this game. I was actually stuck in an Uber going to the airport at that point. But um, man, that Panther secondary is real good. J.C.
yeah,
Horn,
yeah,
dog. He's a dog.
yeah, yeah,
I actually was a week late on the Panthers. I thought the Panthers might beat the Niners. That didn't happen, obviously, but
okay,
Panthers came around and beat the Rams at home. I mean, great win, right? I mean, the Panthers are so weird to me, though. I mean, they've beat the Packers, they've beat the
yeah,
Rams, lost to the Niners. I mean, they're just such an interesting team.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're on the
So,
rise.
all right, so back to the Panthers, man. Looks like great game, man. Gave Seahawks the opportunity, but let's get down to the Seahawks, man. 26-0. There was no offense basically the whole game. It's just like two defenses going at each other, and the Seahawks made it work with special teams and like defensive touchdown, like pick six, with Ernest Jones, first of his career. Man, that's crazy. I never knew that. But man, what a game, man. What did you think about that game?
Obviously, anytime you're shutting a team out, It's a good thing. It's a real good thing. I mean, well, we know we're getting from our defense week in, week out. But I'm about to gut check the Seahawks real quick. I am officially worried about Sam Darnold when he faces good defenses. I am. I'm worried. I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it yet. The only good defense where I've watched Sam Darnold and been like, oh yeah, is Jacksonville. And to be honest, Jacksonville's secondary is not very good. Like their front seven's great. Their secondary is concerning. So I'm a little worried about that. But beside that, the Seahawks won a game 26-0, shutout fashion. Defense was dominant. 4 interceptions, fumbles. The defense just was elite. And they carried us to that win. Because to be honest, the game might be even closer than the score suggests. Like for a while there, the Seahawks were just kind of playing with their food a little bit, right? The Seahawks should have always won that game. The Vikings are starting a backup quarterback. So the Seahawks defense did what they were supposed to do in a very, very impressive and fun fashion. The offense, Brian Flores is a good DC. He did a good job, had a great game plan, but I'm the offense just was not. I wasn't moved. I was not blown away by the offensive output from that game. I mean, 19 points on offense against the Vikings just doesn't really stand out to me, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm not going to complain too much. It's just the problem I have is this is my one gripe, right? Seahawks are 9-3. I'm never going to complain about 9-3, and especially in the fashion that they have, ran off a 9-3 record. But against Tennessee and against Minnesota, the offense has looked meh
yeah.
against lesser opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start asking the question. We did give up a 4th-round pick for Rashid Shaheed
Yeah,
because of his speed and his,
yeah,
his top end speed. He can take a top off a defense. I haven't seen him do that yet. And I'm not
yeah,
sure that's Rashid's fault. Like, how many times have we seen the Seahawks even target Rashid Shaheed down the field?
yeah,
It's just like, what? At some point in time, I'm going to wonder, like, what's going on? I really want to see us get Torrey Horton back. I think that would be a big, big ad.
yeah,
I think he'll be a good welcomed back addition, but I don't know. I don't know. The offense is getting interesting to me, and I'm excited for our next big game because that'll really be a good measuring stick. Like I just want to see
yeah.
what happens when we play Indianapolis or the Rams again, even Carolina on the road, or the
Mm-hmm.
49ers. So we've got a nice stretch coming up, and I just want to see where we're at, offensively when we're going into that stretch. Because right now, after these past 2 weeks, shoot, even 3 weeks. Let's throw the Rams game in there, right? The offense has not looked up to par.
Yeah, yeah. The best defenses Sam Darnold played, you're right. The 49ers didn't look that great, right? The Steelers, yeah, he was good at the end, but he had some turnovers.
But the Steelers secondary is also horrible.
Yeah, it was
Horrible.
horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. But I mean, he still struggled a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go to the Texans, right? The Texans really gave him trouble, right? The Rams absolutely destroyed him, and then the Tennessee Titans, and now you have Brian Flores' defense. And look, what they did was, and you saw a little bit of that. Tennessee had a good success with that. They took JSN away in the first half, and then he went like second half. He went like monsters, right? He just he got all his yards, all his touchdowns.
Yeah.
But Brian Flores took that, through the whole game. I think JSN, he had like 3 catches for 24 yards, something like
I think it
that.
was two. I think it was two for 23 yards. Like,
Right. So he took him away like directly, and he challenged Sam Darnold with some quick pressures, and hey, like who you're gonna give it to, like who's your other guy,
right.
and like Sam Darnold's not that type of guy. Like I think he's intentionally looking for his JSN all the time, which you should, right? But
Yes.
I mean, there's not a number 2 right now.
No, and I'm trying to pull it up. I just want to see one thing. Okay. So JSN gets shut down. This again, this is my complaint. We gave him a 4th-round pick for Rashid Shaheed. So
Yeah.
JSN's getting shut down. Tell me why Rashid Shaheed ran off one reception for 7 yards.
Yeah, and he just
If
had that
JSN,
long rushing yard. I forgot, was it
if
15 or 20?
if JSN one rush for 9 yards. So if JSN
Yeah.
So we got Rashid Shaheed 2 touches when JSN is getting 2 receptions. I just
Mhm.
I don't understand what's going on there. I don't. And that's the part that's just baffling me, is because that would have been the game we want to see Rashid Shaheed do something, right? Kind of
Yeah.
step up. And like, I personally thought, because it was inevitable that JSN was going to eventually have a game where he doesn't, just explode on the scene. And so when that
Yeah.
happened, I was waiting to see what happens with the rest of our receiving corps. Well, clearly nothing. And that
Mm.
that is my concern come playoff time. Because guess what's going
Yeah.
to happen come the playoffs? JSN's going to get bracketed. He's going to get
Yeah.
bracketed. So who else are we going to use? And who else can we trust to get open when Sam Darnold's under pressure by a good defensive line because we're playing late in the playoffs? If
Yeah.
JSN's getting bracketed and there's pressure getting to Sam Darnold, what is going to happen to our offense? That is my
Yeah.
biggest concern.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too, man. And like Anthony Bradford again, man, like, just looking at, the game and like just like, every time there's like a picture of him on social media, right? Like, doing nothing but just looking back at the quarterback. But hey, like, is that like having Anthony Bradford on, does that show you like how bad Christian Haynes is and the other backups are? Is that the problem?
Yeah, it's open competition, right? If one of those guys, other guys looked better than Anthony Bradford at practice, I can promise you that that player would be playing. I mean, these coaches get paid millions, these GMs get paid millions. They're not here just to
Yeah.
favor seniority and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I think it does tell you all you need to know, right? And Mike McDonald said his post game, one of his pressers was like, Anthony Bradford is doing some good things, but there are some plays there where it's not so good.
Yeah.
And I think he's right. Anthony Bradford is just brutally inconsistent. But
Yeah.
like, in a way, it's like when he is off, it is not good. It is setting us
Yeah.
back. I think that is one position the Seahawks are going to target very heavily this offseason on top of running back. I think the Seahawks are going to go
Yeah.
draft a running back pretty early, and I think they're going to go get that right guard. They need to
Yeah.
shore that up, genuinely.
Yeah, you remember Ray Roberts, right? We interviewed him
Yeah. Yep.
earlier in the show. So he was like, I just don't understand how you can be disinterested at a fist fight. Like if this is a physical game, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like weird to me. So he was like, "Hey, like I just can't like understand like how somebody like is that physical. You're in the trenches, is the most physical part of the game, and you just become like disinterested once in a while, which is it's crazy. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. So, but I think what we want the Seahawks to do next week playing Atlanta is we want them just to come out, take care of business on the road, pick up another win. Atlanta is absolutely falling apart, and the Rams have Atlanta's first round pick. I thought I'd mention, which is crazy to think about. But no, come out, take care of business, and get ready for what is going to be a pivotal 4 game stretch for Seattle. We're looking at
yeah,
Colts at home, Rams at home, in Carolina, in San Fran. Two home games. All
yeah,
two being in division, all of them being in conference. It is good. That 4 game stretch, depending on how the Seahawks are doing through that 4 game stretch, will tell us all we need to know coming into postseason. If the Seahawks roll through that 4 game stretch, 3-1, 4-0, oh yeah, oh yeah, they're rolling. They're playing well. We're ready to go for the postseason. They go 2-2. Okay, like, probably don't win the division if we're going 2-2 in that stretch. All right, whatever. They go
yeah,
1-3, 0-4.
yeah.
The alarms are sounding going into the postseason. So
Yeah, tough, tough. How what takeaway would you have if the Seahawks defense plays like this? Like they're dominant. They only allow like let's say 16, 17 points a game. Um, and the offense continues to have these problems when they face good defenses. Like at let's say they lose to the Colts, the Rams, and the 49ers. And, they still have these issues. Like JSN is bracketed. There's no other answers. And they go to the playoffs. Let's say they make it as a 7th seed, and let's say they lose one game. So, what takeaway would you have for next season if that happens? Worst case scenario.
well, if they go through that, right, we'd have to see what went wrong. We'd obviously have to take a step back, and I don't want to project, right? We would have to take a step back and look at, okay, what went wrong over those games? Why did we fall apart there? Why did we lose those games? once we figure that out, then I think that's when you attack that in the offseason, because the Seahawks are close. They're really close, but windows in the NFL don't last forever.
Yeah.
So whatever is our fault this year, I believe John Schneider will aggressively pursue to fix this offseason, because he knows that how close the Seahawks are and how the opportunity is so open for a Super Bowl in the NFL right now. It's wide open, right? There's a
Yeah.
lot of parity. So I
But
think
if the problem is Sam Darnold, it's not easy to fix the quarterback situation.
no. If the problem is Sam Darnold, then you're going to have to aggressively pursue a way to help Sam Darnold out, right?
Yeah.
So that's being aggressive at right guard. That's being aggressive at running back. That something somehow, some way. I think if it's because Sam Darnold, and the Seahawks will probably aggressively pursue a way to get the run game going.
Yeah.
For next season, because if the Seahawks can run the ball very effectively, then it will take care of itself. The Sam Darnold problem will no longer be a problem as much, because
Yeah.
teams will have to account for our run game a lot more than they have before. So
Especially if you get explosive run games right now, because right now, like
right,
they're going big personnel and they're just daring teams to kind of like match them so they can throw on them, right? That's like the
totally
conversation everywhere, right? And but when they run it out of big personnel, they can't like get those explosive run plays.
right.
Like like that's like that's what the shade that Greg Olson and his crew like always give the Seahawks, right? And so far, like it's not a shade anymore. It is actually true, and defensive coordinators are figuring that out, right? Like you
I
can't get
mean,
explosive run plays.
I
So
mean, listen, we're deep enough in the season to just admit we teams are probably who they are. Like, we
yeah,
know who each team is at this point.
yeah,
And do we have a clear Super Bowl favorite? Probably, probably the Rams. Like, I still think the Rams
yeah,
are most like. Here I am. I'm not going to overreact to a random conference road loss against a pretty solid team. Like, it happens. Like,
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
NFL. So like, I have to say probably the Rams are still the best team, probably the Super Bowl favorite right now. But it's still quite open, and we know who every team is, and their weaknesses and their strengths. And but
yeah.
I just want to highlight, if the Seahawks falter out this year because of Sam Darnold, everyone's going to be like, okay, we need to get a new quarterback. Who's our quarterback options? That's not going to happen. Sam Darnold's
Yeah,
going to be the Seahawks starter next year, whether you like it or not.
yeah,
What's going to happen is I believe Seattle is going to now be aggressive in ways to help Sam Darnold out, complement Sam Darnold. That's what's going to happen. They're going to look at right guard. They're going to look at the running back position. There's a pretty
yeah.
good one out of University of Washington this year, Jonah Coleman, who could be an option. If Jeremiah Love
Oh
fell to
yeah.
Seattle, Jeremiah Love fell to Seattle, I don't think Seattle would even hesitate. But that's not going to happen. So I'm going to
Yeah,
look at a guy like Jonah Coleman, who's coming out of Washington this year. Keep him in the city.
yeah,
Really talented running back. Or even they might even look at receiver. Look at Denzel Boston out of University of Washington as well. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he's a great player in his own right. Um, so I
yeah,
think there's a lot to look at. There's a lot to look at.
yeah, yeah. I think we need like a Gray Zabel type right guard, man. So
Yeah,
that's the type
but
of person
but
you
our
need.
demise has not happened yet. So guess
Yeah,
what? We're going to enjoy this season as it is and keep rooting on the Seahawks. And I believe they're a Super Bowl contender. So we're going to watch that play out, and then we can discuss what we need to fix in the offseason if it doesn't work out in our fashion.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, hey, that's the 32 Insights podcast for you. Tommy will be back next week for sure. 10 a.m. game with the Seahawks, but it's going to be a lot of good games as well. And this Thursday night game is going to be a great game as well. But hey,
Absolutely.
we'll be back next week, Tommy. Let's see what happens.
All righty.
All right, guys, take
Peace
it
out.
easy.